Hey guys, so today we have this. It's just a simple engine teardown of an old Tecumseh engine that I've robbed pretty much almost all the parts from. Might as well break it down, considering this one has a bent crankshaft, so I'm not even going to bother using it as a spare engine. But I'd like to get it stripped down for parts and keep what's salvageable and scrap what is left. Alright guys, let's crack into it. Okay, so first things first, let's get this muffler pulled. 7/16 moves it. Oh dear, oil dripping out of the exhaust. But that's likely because there's still oil in the sump, and this has been on its side a little bit. 5/16, and let's remove the valve cover. And the valves look good. The valves look good. All right, now let's get this head cracked open. That was violent. That one too was violent. Now I'll just quickly zip them out. Crack the head. Wow, those valves are pretty coked. Piston looks okay though. Lots of carbon buildup, which is to be expected for this age of an engine. Head looks good. Small engine. I believe this was a 3.5 horse. I have another engine, actually, a lawnmower that I was rebuilding, sitting on my bench, and it has 0 valve clearance on the exhaust, and it just so happens to be also a 3.5 horse. Worst case scenario, I have a couple of valves that might work. If the exhaust valve, if this one will have better clearance, who knows, maybe this one isn't as worn down, so it might have better clearance overall than the other one. Or if I just so happen that I accidentally grind that other one down a little too much, I have a backup. Next, let's get this engine brake off, and well, it's actually the flywheel brake and bracket and everything, so we'll get 2 3/8 to take this off. Next, I want to pop the oil drain, and then we'll dump the oil. All right, so now let's get these valves out. The engine's now top dead center. Let's get the intake valve out first. There we go. That valve's free. The intake valve should clean up quite nice. It's only a little dark from carbon buildup, but other than that, it seems pretty nice. Right, spring and the keeper. Now we'll get the exhaust valve out. I guess that was the exhaust valve. What am I talking about? Yeah. So the first one was the exhaust valve. Now we're getting the intake. I keep forgetting the small one's the exhaust, the big one's the intake. And I keep getting them backwards in here, but yeah. There, oh, that was easy. The intake valve's not bad at all. Very clean. Still, you can see the line from where it's made the seal with its seat. Spring. Keeper. There's the 2 tappet valves, or I should say the two tappets. Lots of carbon buildup in the exhaust, but that's to be expected. Right, so next, let's get that sump off. All right, to get the sump off, I believe should be 6 3/8 bolts. All right, so now we'll take it out of the vise so we can press the sump off it. There we go. All right, so let's get this mounted on the crankshaft. Not worried, it's bent anyway. All right, 3/4 socket. Let's start cranking this off. Here it comes. See if I can't speed up this process a little. Few love taps. Oh shucks, I broke the sump a little bit there. Boo-hoo. Must have had it in a bad spot. That's my fault. Not a big deal. Not after saving the sump. There we go. Good. Now we can get the rest of it apart. There's the oil slinger. Oh well, not a big deal. I wasn't worried about the sump. There's parts of the oil slinger and oil pump. Pin goes inside. And it rides up and down and creates oil pressure. Neat system. Simple yet effective. Here's a camshaft. Bit of wear on those lobes, but not too significant. It's not bad. Exhaust and intake tappets. I think that's another part of the oil pan or the oil pump. Gasket material. There's the exhaust tappet and the intake. Right, now let's get this piston out. And we'll get the crankshaft out as well. So it looks like a 1/4 inch. Okay, so I believe it's 1/4 inch. Yes, it is. It's 1/4 inch. Here. Oh, that could have hurt. Hit it just on the inside of that, but that's pretty jagged. That could have really hurt. Give it a couple taps down. I don't feel like hurting my hand. That was on there pretty tight too. There's the bottom end of the connecting rod. Journal looks really good. So it looks like this engine was fairly well maintained up until the point that the crankshaft got bent. And the crankshaft. Yeah, its journal looks pretty good too. Really is too bad that it's bent. It really is too bad that this thing got bent. Oh well. To the trash heap this one goes. Let's get this piston out. That the rings are all still good. No cracks. I'm not seeing any kind of significant skirt wear. Journal's good on the connecting rod. Yeah, this was a decent running mower. At least this will be able to be used in something else. Maybe I can sell the piston alone. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Maybe I'll rebuild another engine and use some extra parts around the place. We'll see. Let's see, how's the bore? Bore looks good. I can see lots of cross hatching still. Some spots with some significant wear. Some scoring. But aside from that, it's in really good condition. So this case could be reused. Definitely could reuse this case. So that wouldn't be too bad. It wouldn't be too bad at all. So let's see what we got. We got some usable parts. Some probably not so usable parts. And at least one definitely 100% non-usable part. But yeah, I wasn't really worried about the sump. I don't find a lot of time that the sump goes bad. It's either a hole in the block or something wrong with the crankshaft. Or the connecting rod. A couple of valves, those might come in handy. Another head, just in case one gets pulverized from who knows what, maybe a dropped valve. Wouldn't be too bad to have another head. Piston's always good, especially a connecting rod. It is a Tecumseh engine after all. 2 valves, yeah, I think that they could become very useful. Not sure about the engine brake, but I know that the blade adapter will. But alright guys, thanks for tuning in for another engine teardown. I do have another engine that I do plan on tearing down very soon. And just a quick update on this week and how crazy it's been. Well, unfortunately for my wife, her arthritis is getting a little bit worse and she's no longer able to drive her car. I mean, it's got 3 pedals and a shifter, so it's a little tough on her joints. So we've had to make a little bit of a change, and this is what's been really going on this week. It's been really crazy. So unfortunately, she's had to give up her little go-kart, but we do plan on keeping it for our kid because, I mean, it's a Corolla. This thing likely will never die. As crazy as it is, we ended up with a bow tie in her driveway. But since she drives mostly around in town, it made a lot more sense that we get something that we can plug in. She can basically drive with electricity to maybe save a little bit of money. So we picked up this one, Chevy Volt. And of course, she's got her complimentary Skittles in there. She made sure that she got one that was going to be quite comfortable. And I must say, it does have quite a lovely interior. And she made sure that she got good sound. I don't blame her. She loves spending time in her car, so yeah, she made sure this one came with the upgraded Bose sound system. So this week has been quite hectic trying to find something like this, and honestly, so far, she loves the car. I don't know why Chevy killed this one. Probably because it was one of their most reliable. All right, guys. See you in the next one.